Mio Aoki swung open the door, expecting the top tutor her parents paid a fortune for. Her blood froze.
You!
3 years of torment crashed back. In middle school, Mio had made Naoki Sato's life a living nightmare. She stole his lunches every single day, just to watch him go hungry. She leaked fake love letters he had supposedly written, setting him up for public rejection and ridicule. And she mocked his quiet, hard-working mother, calling her pathetic loud enough for Naoki to hear. At the end of middle school, Naoki vanished. Transferred somewhere far away, his family broken by the bullying.
This can't be real. Of all people, he's my tutor.
Naoki stood perfectly still, his expression unreadable. He looked right through her, as if she were a stranger.
See, come in.
Mio's parents had spared no expense. The agency's top recruit was assigned to her case, anonymous until arrival.
Premium elite tutors. 100% success rate. They couldn't have known. They sent him.
We'll start with a baseline assessment. Please complete this practice test within the hour.
He placed the paper in front of her with the same detachment as a stranger.
This is the boy whose lunch I threw in the trash. And now he's grading me.
The memory of his mother being mocked resurfaced, along with the fake love letters she had spread.
How can he sit there so calmly? Does he not recognize me?
But Naoki simply pointed out a miscalculation, his voice a flat droning sound. The session dragged on until the clock chimed. He stood, bowing formally, and excused himself, left alone in the foyer. Mio realized the dread twisting her stomach was only getting worse. Through the window, she watched Naoki disappear down the street, his stride unhurried. Her mother's praise echoed from the hall. What a polite, brilliant young man he was.
She has no idea. That same polite young man is the boy I tormented for years.
That night, Mio locked herself in her room and typed his name into every search bar, but only professional reviews surfaced. 5 stars, perfect track record, a ghost in the system, cold, efficient, results-driven. The words matched the man she'd just met.
No trace of his middle school, no personal photos. It's like he erased everything before he became this.
The absence of information was more terrifying than a direct threat.
He's not going to expose me. He's not going to punish me. He's just going to be my tutor. That's worse.
And the worst part, next session was already scheduled. She had no way out. The next session arrived too soon. Mio's hands were clammy before he even sat down.
He's so close I can hear his breathing, and I am supposed to concentrate on algebra.
Let's review the areas where you scored lowest. Quadratic equations, particularly.
As he pointed to the formula, Mio's mind flooded with the image of his mother crying at the school gate.
It's strange. I heard our old middle school closed down. Did you hear about that?
I don't keep up with school news. Please focus on the problem.
Day after day, the sessions blended into one. And with each passing week, Mio's test scores dipped lower.
I am falling apart. Every time I see his face, I see everything I did.
Mio tried again, mentioning a rumor about a transfer student back then. Naoki's pen never paused. By the 4th week, Mio sat rigid, waiting for a blow that never came. His blankness was a wall she couldn't breach. Her mother's voice cut through the apartment. Mio, this is unacceptable. We're paying triple for a top tutor, and your grades are dropping.
I am drowning and she doesn't know why. I have to find out what he's hiding.
After the next session, she waited a heartbeat, then followed him at a distance. He walked to a part of town she never visited. Past convenience stores and cramped alleys, he stopped at a modest apartment complex, the facade chipped and stained. The door opened. A woman with tired eyes and worn hands reached out and wrapped him in a hug.
That face. It was the same woman she had mocked at the school gate.
The woman she'd called pathetic. The mother who had brought lunches that Mio mocked.
He's not a monster. He's a son protecting the only family he has. And I made her cry. I won't confront him. Not yet. But I have to understand him.
At the next session, Mio came with a new strategy. If subtle hints failed, she would shatter his calm with sheer incompetence.
Let's see how he stays professional when I can't even solve a basic linear equation.
She scribbled a jumble of nonsense where the answer should be, then leaned back, watching for a crack.
This is incorrect. Let's walk through the steps together from the beginning.
But that's how I was taught. Maybe my previous school did it differently.
Without a flicker of irritation, Naoki erased her error and rewrote the correct formula. She dug her nails into her palm. He wasn't annoyed. He was treating her like a broken machine, patiently resetting it.
To him, I am not even worth a scolding. I am just a task to complete.
This one also needs review. Take your time. The fundamentals must be solid.
Next session, I will force him to see me. No more games. I'll make him react.
The mirror that morning had shown her something hollow. A pale phantom with sunken eyes and cracked lips.
If I look like a corpse, maybe he'll finally see me. See what he does to me just by existing.
Naoki set down his briefcase and opened the textbook without a flicker of acknowledgement of her state.
We'll continue from where we left off. Are you ready?
Not a single word about how I look. I am nothing.
She reached for her pen and knocked it off the table. Bending to retrieve it, her vision swam.
Mio, you are clearly unwell. Perhaps we should stop for today.
Don't be kind. Don't you dare be kind after everything I did.
She bolted out of the chair, one hand covering her mouth, and stumbled into the bathroom, locking the door.
I am the one who should be sick. I am the poison. And he just offered to help.
The next day, Mio returned to the study room with dark circles under her eyes. Naoki was already seated, textbook open.
About yesterday, I am sorry. I wasn't feeling well.
It's fine. Let's begin.
He didn't even hesitate. My breakdown meant nothing to him.
As Naoki left, her mother's voice rang out, "You look pale, Mio. That tutor is a godsend. Make sure you don't waste him."
Waste him? I am the one being wasted. This isn't sustainable.
The tension in the apartment had become a physical weight, pressing on her chest every time Naoki was near.
I can't keep doing this. Next time, I'll confront him for real. No matter what happens, even if it destroys me, at least he'll see me.
The next session was already booked. She would have her answer, one way or another. The next session arrived, and Mio could no longer contain the storm inside her. She stared at Naoki, hands trembling.
Why? Why haven't you said anything? Do you enjoy watching me drown like this?
The textbooks slid across the table, but Naoki didn't flinch. He set down his pen and met her eyes with a terrifying calm.
I recognized you the first day, Mio.
He knew. All this time, he knew who I was, and he never let it show.
The agency keeps client identities anonymous until the first session. By the time I arrived, the contract was binding.
His tone was flat, as if reciting a policy. No malice, no satisfaction, just a statement of fact echoing through the silent room.
I was nothing to him. Not worth revenge. Not worth anger, just a name on a client file.
She felt the last thread of her composure snap. All her guilt, her fear, her carefully built dread, it simply vanished into the void of his indifference.
This is worse than hatred. This is the proof I never mattered at all.
The session ended in silence. Naoki left without a word, leaving Mio frozen.
I recognized you the first day. His voice looped in her skull, flat and unshaken.
She had braced for revenge, for some twisted justice, but he gave her nothing. not even contempt.
To him, I am just a client. 3 years of cruelty, never even registered.
And that emptiness was her sentence. He didn't need to punish her. Her own mind was doing it better.
I was the queen of middle school. Now I am a ghost, not even worth hating.
The next session came. Mio moved like a puppet, answering, taking notes, seeing nothing.
He's still here, still teaching. And I am still breathing. But what's the point?
Days blurred into weeks. Each session a sterile exchange of numbers and silence. Her parents noticed her hollow stare.
I can't even hate myself because he took away the one reaction I needed. His acknowledgement.
Midway through another sterile session, Mio's pen clattered to the floor. She couldn't hold it any longer.
I stole your lunch every day. I made you read those fake letters in front of everyone. I mocked your mother until she cried. Why aren't you angry? Why won't you just hate me? Give me something, anything, so I can finally breathe.
Naoki sat motionless, hands folded on the open textbook, watching her shatter with the same patience. He showed quadratic equations.
I didn't refuse the contract because this is my job. I don't know you outside this room. Your past doesn't affect my professionalism.
The words hung in the air, final as a slammed door. Not cruelty, simple, irreversible, professional distance.
He didn't want to punish me. He didn't want to save me. I simply don't exist to him. I've been waiting for permission to hate myself, but the only person who could give it won't, so I have to forgive myself instead.
The tutoring continued, but something had shifted. Mio had finally hit bottom, and in that void she found her first real breath. The next morning, Mio woke before her alarm and sat at her desk. Not for her parents, not for Naoki, for herself.
I will pass this exam to prove I can be more than the monster I was.
She studied until the ink blurred and her hand cramped. For the first time, the equations felt like a path forward. When Naoki arrived, Mio looked up without flinching. Her voice came out steady.
Could you walk me through this one? I think I am missing a step.
Naoki paused a fraction longer than usual. Then he nodded, his pen tracing the problem. The session proceeded with a new rhythm, less mechanical, more focused. Mio answered correctly, more often than not. Afterwards, Naoki packed in silence. But as he left, his eyes lingered on her textbook for a moment. A week later, a mock test returned with a score 10 points higher. Mio stared at the number, her hand trembling.
It's not much, but for the first time, I am moving forward instead of drowning.
Week after week, Mio's test scores climbed. The red marks faded, replaced by neat corrections.
Your fundamentals are improving. The earlier gaps are filling.
After the session, as Mio stepped into the hallway, she froze. A voice she didn't recognize drifted from around the corner. It was Naoki, phone pressed to his ear, speaking with a softness that seemed alien in his usually monotone voice. He was promising to come home early to bring her favorite tea. The her was unmistakably his mother. And then, the image of the woman she had mocked flashed into her mind. Those overworked hands, that tired smile she had scorned.
I laughed at her. I called her pathetic, and he still stands in my home, teaching me without a single cruel word.
The guilt that had been festering for weeks changed shape. It no longer revolved around his indifference, but around the real damage she had done.
He's not my victim. He's just a man who loves his mother. And I tried to destroy that. I can't fix the past, but I can make sure I never become that person again, for my own sake.
With the entrance exam days away, Mio's nerves returned, not as guilt, but as a raw, undiluted fear. She fell asleep at her desk, formulas blurring, and the nightmare clawed its way back, and the girl laughing, the one clutching her stomach with cruel joy. That girl wore Mio's own face, her present, terrified face.
Stop it, stop it.
Her heart hammered against her ribs. The tears on her cheeks were real. The monster was still inside.
I will always carry what I did. That cruelty is a part of me now, but carrying it doesn't mean I have to let it control me. I can choose differently, every single day.
She splashed water on her face, but the cold couldn't wash away the truth. She would carry this forever. That afternoon, she walked into the study room with a spine of steel. Naoki looked up, and for a suspended heartbeat, their gazes held.
Let's begin. I'm ready.
The final session wound down. Mio set her pen aside and looked at Naoki with a steadiness she didn't know she had.
Naoki, thank you for everything. Your professionalism was exactly what I needed.
He inclined his head, the barest acknowledgement. The air thickened with everything still unsaid between them.
If you had known it was me before accepting, would you have refused the contract?
Naoki paused. The silence stretched, and that pause itself was a fracture in his perfect composure.
I don't know, maybe.
It wasn't warmth or forgiveness. It was simply the truth, and that sliver of uncertainty was the first scar she ever saw in his armor.
He could have lied, but he didn't. That small honesty means more than any apology ever could.
Then he stood, briefcase in hand, and walked to the door. He paused, his back to her, the silence holding its breath.
I will pass this exam, not for him, not for my parents, for the person I am finally choosing to become.
The morning of the entrance exam arrived, cold and gray. Mio walked through the hall doors with nothing but a pencil and a lifetime of lessons. The paper landed on her desk. The first few questions were manageable, familiar territory she had drilled with Naoki.
But by question 20, the difficulty spiked. Old panic clawed at her throat.
Her hand trembled over the answer sheet. The numbers blurred, and in their place the ghost of a laughing girl appeared. It was herself, the version that had tormented Naoki. Version she feared she still was.
I am not that girl anymore. I am the one who fought through this.
She gripped the pencil harder and forced her mind back to the present. Each answer became a rebuttal to her past. The hours passed in a haze of concentration. When the final bell rang, her hand was cramped, her mind empty. She stumbled outside into the pale sunlight, the weight of the exam finally lifting. Her phone buzzed, a notification from the Tutor agency, contract completed.
I don't know if I passed, but I know I gave everything I had. That's more than the old me ever did.
In the hollow days after the exam, Mio sat at her desk, the silence more oppressive than the test itself. She picked up a pen and began a letter to Naoki, words she never dared speak.
Dear Naoki, I can't. Those 2 words are already a plea.
She glanced at an old class photo. In it, she was the queen, laughing. The girl in the photo needed no one. The woman writing still clung to someone. She placed the photo face down and tore the letter in 2.
I don't need his forgiveness. I need to forgive myself.
That night, she researched therapists online. It was a small act, but the first she did solely for her own healing. The exam results would arrive, but this, facing the truth of who she had been, was the test that mattered.
And for the first time in years, a weight she hadn't known she carried began to lift.
The acceptance letter arrived on a Wednesday. Mio's hands trembled as she tore the envelope.
Passed. I passed.
She sank to the floor, the paper crumpled against her chest. For the first time in months, the tears that came were not from fear.
Naoki, I did it.
She could leave a message through the agency, thank him properly. Her fingers hovered over the phone.
That would undo everything. He gave me indifference, and I turned it into strength.
She placed the old class photo back in the drawer, face down, and closed it.
The tutoring contract is over. So is this chapter of my life.
Mio Aoki had passed the exam, but more importantly, she had passed through the person she used to be.
And for the first time, she felt ready for what came next.
After the exam, Mio had called the agency, intending to leave a thank you message for Naoki. But the agency coordinator stopped her with a policy she had never fully considered. The agency never revealed client names until the first session. Naoki had no prior knowledge it was her. By the time he recognized her, the contract bound him, and his own integrity refused to let him retaliate. His indifference had never been a weapon. It was simply who he was. A man who treated every client exactly the same. Mio had spent months believing his silence was a punishment, but it had never been about her at all. The cruelty she had expected, the revenge she braced for, was never something he intended to give. Naoki Sato had not refused the contract, not because he sought to hurt her, but because hurting her was never a priority. The worst thing he did to her was nothing, and it was the best thing that ever happened to her. Months later, Mio walked through the university courtyard, no longer the queen, no longer the bully, just a student among thousands.
I used to think being a queen meant everyone bowed. Now I know strength is quiet.
The mirror no longer showed a girl she hated. The eyes that stared back were humble, but unafraid.
The girl who mocked Naoki's mother. That was me. But it's not who I am now.
She had not been forgiven. She had been ignored, and that had forced her to find her own worth.
I don't need him to see me. I see myself.
Every day she walked through the university gates. She carried the past, but it no longer carried her.
Naoki Sato gave me nothing, and that nothing was everything.
She was alone, but not lonely. The quiet inside her was finally her own.
I am ready for whatever comes next.
One afternoon, across the crowded campus square, Mio saw a familiar silhouette. Naoki, walking with a book tucked under his arm.
It's him.
He turned his head, as if sensing her gaze. Their eyes met, only for a second. Then, Mio did something she never thought she could. She smiled. A small, genuine smile. Naoki's expression didn't change, but he nodded, almost imperceptibly, and then he walked on.
That's it. A nod. And it's enough.
They had shared a past that could have shattered them both, but it had bent them into different shapes. Shapes that no longer clashed.
We won't be friends, but we aren't enemies. That's more than I deserve.
She turned toward the library, and he disappeared into the science building. Two paths, finally diverging in peace. Months blended into the quiet rhythm of university life. The cherry trees along the main path were in full bloom. One petal slipped through an open window and landed softly on an empty desk. In her room, a drawer held the torn pieces of a letter, the one she had written, then torn, but never thrown away.
I wanted to apologize, but the apology wasn't for him. It was for me.
Walking home beneath the blossoming branches, Mio did not flinch at her own reflection in a shop window.
He did nothing, and that nothing was everything.
The worst thing he did was nothing, and it was the best thing that ever happened. The agency brochure was gone. The tutor, a stranger who had taught her the hardest lesson, Mio Aoki, walked forward, not as a queen, not as a victim, but as someone who had finally learned to carry her own weight. A single petal rested on the empty desk, and the room was quiet.